Newcomer Jeremy Hermida drove in the Padres' first 3 runs of the game yesterday, while Will Venable knocked in the last 3 in a 7-2 win. Bruce Bochy's Giants come to town with their postseason hopes on life support and having trouble getting out of their own way. Watching baseball is a labor of love. Just hang on when it's your turn to shine. Happy Labor Day. Welcome to Petco Park. Today it is Game 1 of a 3-game series between the Padres and the San Francisco Giants. We welcome you in along with Mark Grant and Tony Gwynn. I'm Mark Neely. Guys, it looks like the Giants are fading a bit here. Mud, what's the difference this year compared to last year?
I think one player's name should be brought out, and that's Buster Posey. Buster Posey, the Rookie of the Year last year in 2010, hit 18 home runs. This kid really grew into be the heart and soul of this ball club. And when you lose a guy like Buster Posey earlier in the year, statistically, it's a run and a half, maybe 2 runs that the Giants are lacking without Buster Posey in the lineup. I don't mean to hinge all the success on the Giants last year to Buster Posey. What a big omission for these Giants this year.
Tony, you played for Bruce Bochy. What's Bochy's mindset? What's he telling his players at this point?
Well, he's telling them offensively they got to pick it up. They got to figure out a way to put some runs on the board, because if they do, with their pitching, they could get back in this thing. But in the back of Bochy's mind, he knows offensively we struggled. If we don't turn this thing around pretty quickly, it's going to be tough to get back in.
So a 4.5-game lead on July 21st has now turned into a 7-game deficit for the Giants, and it's going to be miraculous for them to come back at this point.
I think so. I think Arizona's a much better offensive club, and the Giants have shown their spots offensively. They just haven't been able to put it together, so it's going to be tough.
Not only one guy's going to have to do it, they're going to have to collectively have a handful of guys down the stretch to really make a difference. It's going to be tough.
Let's take a look at the pitching matchup for this game. Madison Bumgarner going for the Giants. He threw 8 scoreless innings in his last start against the Cubs, and Tim Stauffer sports a 2.52 ERA here at Petco Park this season. Pitching matchup is brought to you by Discount Tire, where America saves on tires.
O'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That is Vietnamese pop singer Elon, and in special recognition on this Labor Day, the singing of the national anthem presented by USAA. Feels like a Sunday, but it's a Monday, Labor Day Monday. Hope your holiday weekend is going well. Let's take a look at the Giants lineup, brought to you by the Prize Patrol, presented by Jerome's Furniture. Text winning to 269-411 to enter. You will notice no Carlos Beltran, who was out with a bout of food poisoning, with Pablo Sandoval batting in the 3 spot, playing third base, a .333 career hitter against the Padres' Tim Stauffer. And the starting pitching profile is brought to you by your San Diego County Cadillac dealer. Stop in today for an attractive lease or purchase offer.
Well, you talk about a pitcher who could not wait to get back out there, especially after the last outing in Los Angeles. An inning and 2/3, Timmy did not have his stuff. In fact, he was quoted in the paper, "I just felt helpless." It's one of the worst feelings for a pitcher. Hopefully he can bounce back today. Big key for Tim, I think, avoid the deep counts. Quick outs send him a long way in this game.
So we're set to go. Andres Torres, the center fielder, to lead off for the Giants. Bruce Bochy's team against 7 games back as we begin play on this holiday Monday. And we are underway. 73 degrees. And some clouds around at game time. We've actually had a few raindrops throughout the morning here downtown. They're dry here at game time today. 2 balls, no strikes on Torres. 226 on the season. There is a strike from Stauffer. You mentioned, Bud, that Stauf said he felt helpless after that start, or during that last start.
No control of the fastball, no control of the breaking ball. He got squeezed a few times. And Tim would be the first guy to say, hey, you know what, I'm not going to blame anybody but myself. He is accountable. But the last thing a pitcher wants to think, especially after last outing and then now going 3-1, is here we go again. He needs a quick out here.
Gets the strike in the low outside corner and a full count.
I should say he just needs an out to get that first one under his belt.
I was watching that game, and the one thing I noticed was his fastball command. That's where he, usually is really good at being able to locate that 2-seamer. And that night he just couldn't find the strike zone.
Down the left field side, foul. And no question, probably the plate appearance that affected Stauffer most was when he walked the pitcher in LA in that last start. Walking Hiroki Kuroda. To the first baseman, up with it is Jesus Guzman, 3 unassisted, and that's the way this one begins. There's the defense behind Stauffer on this Monday. Blanks. And Denorfia on the corner outfield spots. Look who's back in center. Cameron Maben. With Gonzalez and Guzman on the corners on the infield. Bartlett and Hudson up the middle. And Nick Hundley back behind the plate. Cameron Maben has had the right wrist issue and has played defensively a few times in the series against the Rockies, but he'll get his first at bats. And Chris Denorfia off the disabled list. Denorfia battled a hamstring injury. That's towards third, and Gonzalez, who was in on the grass. Quick out of Keppinger, who's a guy that can make you throw a lot of pitches. Rarely strikes out, but he's retired on the first pitch from Stauffer, 2 away.
Mud touched on it. Quick outs. That's Tim Stauffer. That's what you want. You want to kind of erase that last start and go out there and throw strikes, get ahead, get some quick outs, get your confidence back.
Third baseman Pablo Sandoval. 294 on the season. Hitting .302 left-handed. He has had a left shoulder injury. And as a result of that, he says it affects him batting right-handed. And his number's right-handed down. He's a .265 right-handed. Some of the Panda fans are here.
Never liked that. Never liked that.
Yeah.
He ropes one hard and deep to right center field. This ball hit a long way and over the beach. Sandoval's 17th home run of the year. Now Stauf fell behind in the count, and Sandoval ripping the 2-0 pitch. Good 415, 420 feet.
Sandoval just being aggressive. Head in the count, like you said, got a ball right in the middle of the plate. Boy, he puts a nice swing on it and drives it out of the ballpark to right center field.
Once again, location of the fastball. Sometimes pitchers miss way out of the zone, and sometimes you miss dangerously in the zone. That was one of those pitches.
Yeah, I would say that's more of a byproduct of falling behind in the count 2-0. Sandoval just said, forget it, I'm going to take a hack here at this pitch 2-0.
Well, Cody Ross led off the Giants game yesterday against Arizona with a home run. Turned out to be the only run of the game they scored, being beaten 4-1. This Giants offense comes in last in the majors in team batting average of .238. Sandoval's homer has given him the early lead. Huff batting with 2 outs, bases empty, and the 1-2 from Stoff, just missing the inside corner.
When this year started, I would have never thought that this club would be last in the National League in offense. Some veteran guys on this team, guys who know how to swing the bat. Had success before. You know, Huff had a great year last year. Ross, they got down the stretch last year. He swung the bat really well for him.
From 0-2 to a 3-2 pitch to Huff. And on the ground to the right side, Orlando Hudson fields. Well, 3 balls on the ground, but 1 ball that went out to right center field. Sandoval's 17th of the season. The Giants get a run, and the Padres are coming up. Padre lineup brought to you by Evans Tire and Service Centers, home of the free alignment. Maben back in the lineup, leading off playing center field, followed by Bartlett, and Jesus Guzman hitting in the 3 spot back at first base, hitting over 500 in his last 5 games. Maben to lead off. Giants getting a run in the top of the first on a solo shot from Pablo Sandoval. Here's Cam. Our starting pitching profile is brought to you by Bank of America, setting opportunity in motion in San Diego to help our community and economy.
Well, it seems like the common theme here for both the Padres and the Giants is lack of run support. And the same goes for Madison Bumgarner. Has received 3 runs or fewer of support 24 of his 28 starts this year. Fastball, slider, cutter, curve, and a change. He's a good one. Had a nice year last year. And when a kid comes through in the postseason like he did, you know he can pitch the big game.
Well, in 8 of his starts this year, he has gotten no runs of support.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's taken them out with 1 run already under his belt, he's probably feeling pretty good about that.
There's your run, big boy. Go get him.
How hard is that to pitch?
Catches the outer half. 2-2 on Cameron.
Kind of throws across his body just a little bit, going from that third base side of the rubber, and then he's got that long arm swing. 6'4".
He's a slinger. He's a three-quarter guy.
Full count on Maben leading off. Garner recently turned 22 years old back in August. Former Giants first-round pick, 10th overall in 2007. He's a native of the state of North Carolina. Grew up in a town called Hudson, North Carolina, which has only about 2,800 people, about 90 miles northwest of Charlotte. Three-two pitch. That's out of play right side. Well, you expect Lincecum and Kane to pitch well, but when Bumgarner threw well in the postseason last year for the Giants, especially his 8 scoreless innings in the World Series, that helps cement things for the Giants.
No question. I mean, you get a young guy out there dealing like he was dealing in the postseason. Even when you do have troubles putting runs on the board, if you can just get some timely hits, you still got a chance to win.
Maben may have chased one down there, but strikes out for the first out. Here's the Giants defense, brought to you by North County Cadillac. Customer service at a whole new level. Brandon Belt is back from AAA for the Giants and playing left field today with Torres and Ross in the outfield. Crawford and Keppinger up the middle. Brandon Crawford also recently back from AAA, and former Padre Chris Stewart catching. Shortstop Jason Bartlett. Rips the first pitch to left. Brandon Belt will have to chase that one all the way to the 357 marker. Bartlett on his way to second. He is in standing up with a one-out double.
The ball was hit so hard, Brandon Belt really didn't have a chance to even try to play the angle to catch that ball. Bartlett right on. Fastball inside. He turns on it.
Good topspin on that one.
A little bit of hook on it, too, and Brandon Belt wasn't able to get to it. And Bartlett gets himself in a scoring position with a double.
Well, here's our guy coming up to the plate.
He loves to hit with runners in scoring position. Jesus Guzman, who hits well with no runners on, around 300, but his numbers with runners in scoring position, astronomical, well over 400. First pitch strike. You know, we were talking, Tony Mudd and I, about clutch hitting. Some of the so-called sabermetricians say it does not exist. We dispute that. Some guys can be better in clutch situations than others. Where do you stand?
I absolutely agree with that. Hitting with guys in scoring position, you got to be mentally tougher. The chances are you're probably going to have to wait a guy out to get a good pitch to hit. You're not going to have very much success hitting with runners in scoring position, swinging at the first pitch a lot. And Guzman has showed me already he can swing the bat. He's a good hitter.
Bumgarner misses inside on the 0-2 pitch, and right there, laying off a very close pitch.
You know what I have found, Tony, is that Guzman is a good bad ball hitter when the ball's off the plate and down. He's gone right field line. He's gone right center field.
A good hitter in this situation is not going to be afraid of where it goes.
Goes up after it and drops it into center field. Here comes Bartlett. He will score. Jesus Guzman, unconscious with runners in scoring position, comes through again and ties this game at 1.
And that's a great example of doing whatever it takes to get the job done. Pitch is not a strike. He puts a good swing on it. He doesn't hit it very hard, but he gets the job done. You see, he wants that ball up in his zone. He's coming up out of his crouch. That ball is up, and he just fights it off in the center field for the base hit. And to add to that, the base running on this, he sees that Huff is the cutoff man, and he rounded first base as if he was going to go to second. And that's what you like to see in those kind of situations.
38th RBI for Guzman, playing in his 62nd Padres game.
38 ribbies. Less than 200 at bats. That's And again, yeah, we don't know what position he's going to play, but guess what? If you can swing the bat like that and be productive, they'll find a spot. They'll find a spot for you.
So now he's hitting .442 with runners in scoring position. It was moments ago just at .431.
If you get to those numbers, Mark, it's hard to move. It's hard for him to move up.
1-0 pitch. Off the outside corner to Kyle Blanks. Kyle in 131 at-bats in the big leagues this year with 7 home runs. Blanks fouls it back.
Did the arm slow up on that a little bit?
Looked like
a changeup.
Kyle looked like he saw that too and took a pretty good swing.
Not the same arm speed from Bumgarner as if it were a fastball. He slows it up.
And as a hitter, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for little clues to alert you, let you know what possibly is coming. And no question, he slowed the arm angle up right there. Kyle Blanks a changeup, and he was right on it. Fouled it straight back.
Padres have tied it on the RBI base hit by Guzman. Now Blanks with 1 on, 1 out.
That does so much for the psyche of a ball club. You give up the big bomb to Sandoval, and then bottom of the first, just put it right back up there.
I'll tell you what else it does too. On the other side, it just deflates you because they've had trouble scoring runs. They get the early lead, and 3 batters in, it's a tie ball game again. And now you're wondering, okay, how are we going to scrap together another run? Because from the Giants' standpoint, you're thinking about a single run, not multiple.
Wave and a miss at that fastball on the outer part. Runs it to a full count. Let's see how the Padres want to play this. If they want to start Guzman. Full count with 1 out.
Chris Stewart has thrown out 40% of the base runners time that he's been behind home plate.
Not running. Wave and a miss. And Blanks strikes out, 2 away. They did a good job of keeping everything away from Kyle in that sequence.
That was fast, a little fast 2-seamer. A little fastball away. We're keeping it on the outside part of the plate.
It looked like it was mostly upper body on the swing, too.
So 2 down for Orlando Hudson, the second baseman. The switch hitter batting .249, and the numbers similar from each side of the plate. .247 left-handed, .255 from this side of the plate right-handed. Pitch from Madison Bumgarner. Puts in for a strike on the inside corner with a breaking ball.
Did you guys see that Yankee score, Orioles? 11-10. That place is a bandbox, isn't it? Yankee Stadium.
See the White Sox Tiger game last night? Bounce back towards the mound, fielded by Bumgarner. Throws him out. The Padres, though, do get the equalizer thanks to Guzman's RBI single. We've played an inning on this Labor Day. The Padres and Giants are tied at 1. And be entered to win one of 15 great prizes. Today's 15 prizes and 15 games winner, Sean and Glenn Plowman. He'll be a part of the Padres team photo in 2012. It's not too late to place your 2012 deposit and be entered to win. Call the Padres at 619-795-5555 today.
Got some great prizes in that promo.
Cody Ross takes a strike. Ross homered in the first inning of their game yesterday against Arizona, his 12th of the year. It's the second time this year Ross has led off a game with a homer and third time in his career. Finds himself quickly in the hole here, 0-2. Breaking ball from Stauffer down in the dirt. Shutdown time here for Stauf.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you'd love to have a get back in the ball game and come out and have a quick 1, 2, 3 inning.
Well, that's a good pitch.
2-2.
Looked like that breaking ball that he tried to get on the inside corner. That's a good pitch.
Fouled back.
And everybody always thinks righty on righty, sliders away, right. But that one on the inside part of the play kind of buckles you a little bit. And then if you place it perfectly on that inside corner, you really can't do much with that pitch if you offer at it.
Deep breath for Stauf, and he sends in a 2-2 to Cody Ross, leading off the second. Breaking ball hit softly left side. Charged by Gonzalez. Tries the bare hand and cannot come up with it. Did he have more time than he realized there?
I think he did.
I think he had time to glove that baseball and kind of set himself to get Cody Ross.
I think he had time to use the glove hand there and field that ball. And Cody Ross kind of has a long swing, so it takes him a little bit of time to get out of the batter's box. I think he had time to really use his glove on that and make a play. But
I agree.
So the leadoff man reaches. Brings up Brandon Belt, the left fielder. Hits it on the ground and through the right side. Ross taking the turn. He'll go to third. And the Giants have runners at the corners. So a little infield dribbler and then a ball not hit all that hard that gets through the right side. The Giants have something going.
And very frustrating for any pitcher. You make a good pitch, they put the ball in play. You'd rather have a rocket squared up, a one-hopper at your second baseman. Belt tops this one. Orlando Hudson looked like he was playing over more towards the second base bag, and he finds the hole to the right side. So the Giants got something going here.
So they're at the corners with nobody out for the shortstop Brandon Crawford. Crawford recalled for the second time this year just 3 days ago on the 2nd of September. It's a double play ball, but that will get a run home. 6-4-3. It scores Ross, and the Giants reclaim the lead at 2-1. Padres do turn their 122nd twin killing of the season.
under the circumstances, that's what you want. Stauffer got the ground ball, gets the double play. Giants get a run, but now you protect yourself from the big inning, and now you're an out away from getting out of it, just giving up one run.
The one thing I've noticed, Brandon Belt and Crawford swinging at the first pitch, being aggressive early.
Two bases are empty with 2 outs for Chris Stewart. Takes low, 2 balls, no strikes. Stewart playing in his 58th Giants game. Back to the mound. Giants do get a run on a couple of hits, but the Padres turn a double play. We have Hundley, Denorfia, and Alberto Gonzalez coming up in the bottom half. Watch the Padres take on Arizona at 5:35. The first 25,000 fans receive a Padre long sleeve T-shirt and a pet bandana presented by Petco. After the game, you can enjoy a post-game concert by Mercy Me. Purchase your tickets at Padres.com. Look inside the ballpark. When that shot opened up, it looked like you were getting a view of somebody's model railroad down in the basement.
A little Lionel.
Yeah.
Umpires having an issue with the Giants bullpen down there. I think they had some chairs sitting out across the pitcher's mound out there.
It's Chris Cuccione, the first base umpire. What's that time of year when you can expand rosters? It gets a little
crowded.
Yeah. With Billy Hayes.
I'll just sit on the dirt. No problem.
First pitch strike to Hundley, leading off the Padres second. Look from just above the Padres' first base dugout. Pulled foul past second, or left side. 0-2 count on Nick. He's had some big hits since coming off the disabled list. Bumgarner's 0-2. Instead, Nick backs out. Strike three call on the outside corner, says Mike Everett. Nick not buying it.
Ball looks like it was off the plate. We take a second look. Oh, yeah. Right. You have to take into consideration the angle of that center field camera.
Third strikeout for Bumgarner.
What do you think, Tony?
Look good.
Too close to take, right?
Gotta be, yeah.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
Again, it's you're down in the count, 2 strikes. You got to kind of protect the plate a little bit.
What was reasonable for UT to expand your zone on 2 strikes? How much?
6 inches.
6 inches?
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if you're facing a guy who's locating and hitting the glove. Yeah, you kind of have to expand. But again, we got young hitters up here. I talked about it earlier. You're not going to have.
Line into left field. Denorfia just off the deal. Wide turn. He's headed to second. Throw in. Head first slide. And Dino just picks up right where he left off. The 1-out double.
That's good base running, too, by Denorfia. He was going to challenge Brandon Belt from the time that ball left the bat. Aggressively going around first. Forcing Brandon Belt to make a good throw, which he did. Looks like a changeup. He stays behind it nicely, just a little bit out in front of it, but just enough wood on it.
I just love the attitude of Christian Orpia. I've got nothing to lose attitude. He went around. It looks like as soon as he got to first base, he picked it up and then he turned it on. But the point is, I think he was going to be aggressive around first base anyway. And then he decided when he got to first base, yeah, I'm going to try to take an extra 90 feet.
It's like he realized who was in left field. He had a first baseman really playing left field, and he was going to challenge him. Brandon Belt made a nice throw, but in order to get him out in that situation, everything was going to have to be perfect. Well, as I was saying before, these are the kind of situations, guys in scoring position, where you're not going to have a whole lot of success swinging at the first pitch. We saw Crawford do it for the Giants last half, and he's swinging at the first pitch, ends up hitting into a double play. These are situations where you really got to have to be patient and work the camp.
To the alley in right center field, moving over. Ross makes the catch, tagging Denorfia, and Dino will go to third, and he'll be there with 2 outs. Well, in this ballpark, anything that's hit the right center, you kind of got to hold your breath on it. But Ross got over there in plenty of time. So Denorfia advances 90 feet. He's the tying run with the pitcher, Tim Stauffer, at the plate. Bumgarner will continue to pitch out of the stretch. 4 first pitch strike. Nice game for Matt Latos yesterday to get the Padres off that losing skid, and was really locating his secondary pitches, breaking balls into the zone yesterday.
Boy, first time through the lineup, he was nails.
Slow roller foul.
Perfect with 3 strikeouts for Matt yesterday against the Rockies. I think it really showed a lot from Matt Latos yesterday. Remember that 4th inning, the triple, leadoff triple? Things could have been much worse, I think. He got away with giving up only 2 runs, but I thought he pitched pretty well in that inning to get out of it. That could have been much worse for Matt Latos.
Padres go on to win it yesterday 7-2. 4 strikeouts for Bumgarner. The Padres strand the tying run at 3rd. At the end of 2, it's 2-1 San Francisco. Stay after the game and enjoy a live concert from San Diego's own Switchfoot. The concert is free for all fans with a paid ticket for the September 18th game. Don't wait. Get your tickets today at Padres.com/Switchfoot.
Cuteness sighting here at Petco Park.
Gonna have to give that baby something blue to wear, though.
Yeah.
I don't know about the orange.
Yeah.
Dad, too.
Yeah. Bumgarner leading off. Takes a strike from Stauffer. Glad to have you with us on this Labor Day Monday. Mark Neely, Tony Gwynn, Mark Grant, and our Channel 4 crew. Hope that your holiday weekend's going well. Getting into the stretch run. You pass Labor Day. Here it goes. What kind of monkey was that?
I don't know. Causing some monkey business down there.
Yeah. It's got your arms, bud.
Yeah.
2-1 pitch.
You know the thing that's interesting about this year, guys, you talked about down the stretch, Mark Neely. Not really, no close races.
No races, yeah.
I thought the National League West was going to be one of them, but the Giants suddenly 7 games back.
Milwaukee up 9.5 going in today. Philly, I mean, they clinched it at the All-Star break.
Milwaukee's got it wrapped up, really. Atlanta really has the wild card wrapped up.
Yeah.
Bouncy ball to the left to second. Bartlett over to scoop it up and throw out Madison Bumgarner. This Skycap shot is brought to you by Mossy Ford and Mossy Toyota. Visit us in Pacific Beach or online at mossy.com.
Guys, no, we really can't say that though, because there's still a month left. Anything can happen. I mean,
know.
It's
True. You're right.
And just
especially after what we experienced last year.
On paper, it looks like a lot of these races are over already, but we've seen it before. 6, 7, 8 game losing streak. The other team chasing could win 6 or 7 in a row. All of a sudden, it could get tight.
Torres fouls it back. Well, there is technically a race in the American League East, but it really isn't. You have the Yankees a game and a half up on Boston. Whoever loses knows they're going to be the wild card, so a little anticlimactic. Wow. We were talking earlier about the game last night where the White Sox lost to the Tigers 18-2. One of your San Diego State kids pitched last night.
Addison Reed got called up, pitched an inning in 2/3.
Torres hits it up the first base side just fine.
So a lot of guys around baseball getting an opportunity to play big league ball here in September.
Hey, Steven Strasburg making a start. Is it tomorrow?
Yeah.
It's got to make you happy, T.
Well, he's worked hard. His goal was to pitch in September, and going to get that opportunity tomorrow.
Have you talked to Steven?
I talked to his mom. I haven't talked to Steven. I talked to my son yesterday. He's excited for the opportunity to face him. He's punched Anthony out in an inter-squad game a couple of years ago at San Diego State, so he's kind of looking forward to facing him.
Torres sends it into the air to left field. The shortstop out Bartlett on the outfield grass to make the catch. 2 outs. Hey, Tony, some of the national media has been critical of the Nationals that Strasburg is going to pitch at all this season. But if you're healthy, you're healthy, I guess. What do you look at it?
I kind of looked at it the same way, really. Why rush? That was my thinking. But his thought all along was he wanted to do all the work and get back as soon as possible. Because his goal, he set a goal of wanting to pitch in September. And he's thrown into rehab games. He's thrown well. His velocity's almost completely back. And you want to test yourself against the best. The best are at the big league level.
Well, that's it. How much of it is him wanting to know going into the offseason, I came back, I already pitched, I already had success again?
I would say the majority of it is that feeling exactly as you described.
5 in a row retired by Stauffer. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Top of the order coming up. The 9 Honda dealers of San Diego County. Stop by and test drive the all-new, redesigned 2012 Civic. And check out the latest offers on the full lineup of Hondas. If it weren't for the humidity being up a little bit, I'd start saying that fall's right around the corner.
Yeah. We got some rain out in East County. Humidity was up a little bit this morning. Caught some rain into El Cajon. Be careful out there. Roads get slick. My dad always told me.
Top of the order, Cameron Maben takes a rip and misses.
First pitch cambio.
Maben fanned his first time up. Each team has 3 hits. The Giants still have the 2-1 lead. At the knees for strike 2.
I always think of the arm action of Bumgarner. I think of just a big old catapult. You know those. You know, in the old days, they used to put the rock on there and they cut the cord and bam. He's got that type of arm action, does he not? Big old catapult coming from low 3/4.
First pitch change up from 3/4, and then he came back with a fastball. He kind of straightened up on the inside corner, and then that last pitch was cutter down in on his hands, all from that same arm angle.
Line into center field, a base hit for Maben, who catapults that one into center for a leadoff base hit.
Had him 0-2. Quite an AB for Cam. Here's the motion we're talking about from Bumgarner. Big 6'4", and he shows a lot of ball because of that arm angle, unlike a Chris Young, who short arms it from behind his head. So that's got to be kind of an advantage at times for a hitter to see ball, more of ball, right, Tony?
Yeah, and especially if you were left-handed, working all the way over on the third base side of the rubber and giving you what I would call a good look, 3/4.
Tell you what, your catapult analogy is giving me a medieval Braveheart imagery in my head, though.
Now, I want to ask Tony on the flip side. Now, we've got Bumgarner, right? With the big arm swing, big arm, right? Now, the opposite of that would be back when you were playing Sid Fernandez.
Yeah, exactly.
Who short-armed it.
All the way on the third base side of the rubber, same thing, only now it's short-armed.
Line to third, right at Sandoval, throw to first, safe. Huff couldn't pick it out. With Sandoval playing in, with Bartlett up, and we get the first out of the inning.
Well, you know, when I initially saw this, as Sandoval snatches this one out, I'm concerned about the hand of Maben. He goes in right hand, right into the left foot. And then watch Huff's glove hand.
He got his left wrist twisted.
Throw was towards the right field side of first base. Even tried to dive into the bag, dove into Huff's wrist.
Here's Guzman, who knocked in the Padre run in the first, driving in Bartlett from second base. This time he bats with Maben at first and 1 out. First pitch off speed.
Slow arm action again. Oh, homemade signs, love it. Go Padres, you betcha.
Outside, a ball and a strike. And Guzman coming through again with the runner in scoring position in the first. This time with Maben at first and 1 out. And Cameron drops a throw from Bumgarner. Cameron 33 of 38 in steal attempts on the year, and he draws another throw. There he goes. The pitch comes to the plate. It's low. Stewart releases quickly, safe. And Maben got a great jump, and Stewart, though, with a terrific throw, made it bang-bang at second.
Well, Stewart did all he could do on that. You're right. David got a great jump.
Looks like he goes on his first move, and he picks a good pitch to go on. That was a breaking ball. Boy, look at that quick release from Stewart. Right on the money and very, very close. How close? Just in time. He slides in safely.
.34th stolen base for Cameron.
Notice his right hand was on the outfield side of second base. Cameron goes in with his left hand safely to the bag. I'm just glad no side effects from diving into Huff's foot with his right hand.
Well, now Guzman is batting with a runner in scoring position, and it's a 3-1 count.
See if Bumgarner pulls the string or throws a wrinkle here.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to bother Guzman too much, though.
Got the borderline strike on the low outside edge, and it's 3-2. Not a location that Guzman was going to hack at on 3-1.
No, he wasn't looking. He wasn't looking out there. So now, 3-2, you got to open it up a little bit more, be a little bit more aggressive.
Slider.
5th strikeout for Bumgarner and 2 outs in the inning.
Good pitch by Bumgarner. Yep. Little slider down and in. And 2 strikes, you got to be a little bit more aggressive, and that real tough pitch to hit.
That's a really good pitch, 3-2. It's right in that gray area where, I have to protect, as you mentioned, Tony.
Cleanup hitter Kyle Blanks, the left fielder. A strikeout victim his first time. Sliding pickup by Chris Stewart. Padres have the tying run, Maben at second with 2 outs in the 3rd. Long look by Bumgarner. Now floats up a breaking ball that's outside.
That's the pattern that young hitters will see early in the count. A lot of soft stuff.
Fastball down, 3-0. Stewart out to the mound.
Blanks is a guy that has power to all fields, and you don't want to leave something out over the plate. So,
especially with that guy in scoring position.
The guy in scoring position is just probably not going to give in. And if you're going to get a fastball, this is probably going to be the only one you get. 3-0.
So do you green light him?
I would. What the heck? September. Kyle's been swinging a bat pretty good.
Yep.
Probably going to get a fastball. Go ahead. Take a whack.
That was on that outer half. It was a fastball, but 3-1.
Okay, same thing. Same game plan. 3-1. Looking for your pitch, whatever it is, when you get it.
Kept it just far enough away from Kyle. Ball back into the second deck.
Well, maybe it's going to take some time, but this pitch here, as big and strong as Kyle Blanks is, boy, if he can really get on top of that ball and drive it the opposite way, my goodness, he is going to be dangerous.
So 3-2, you're back to where Guzman was. You got to expand a little bit and try to protect the plate.
Well, he takes outside with a slider, ball 4. And that walk is the first allowed by Bumgarner. And the Padres have 2 on, 2 outs. So it sends up second baseman Orlando Hudson.
Yeah, we're going old school, Tony. Brown and orange.
It's going way back.
Yeah.
Dad must have told him about those units.
Yeah.
First pitch hacking and a high fly, shallow center. Keppinger called off by the right fielder. And it's caught by Cody Ross. So the Padres strand 2. They've now left 4 and trail it by 1 at the end of 3. today's question. Mark Grant was traded from the Giants to the Padres as part of a deal that included what future National League most valuable player? We'll have the answer for you a little bit later. For people who are unfamiliar with that deal are thinking, we gave up a future MVP for Mud. We got hosed on that one.
But the Padres got a Cy Young Award winner.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
Pablo Sandoval leading off.
You know what? Last inning, Tony, we showed that brown and orange cap, and then we just came back from break and we showed the blue, white, and there's some 84 colors. You know, the uniforms that the Padres have had through the years. Everybody has their favorites. Quite frankly, I love the 84 scheme with the white spikes. I am a huge fan of the white spikes.
Nice, Jimmy Jam.
What do you think?
I think most people around the country, when they think Padres, they think brown.
Mm-hmm. We see a lot of retro stuff when we travel.
Sandoval hits one deep to right. Back is Denorfia, and he's hit 2 today. With number 17 in the first, that's his 18th of the year to lead off the fourth, and it's 3-1.
That was a 2-0 fastball in the first inning, a 2-1 pitch here. Breaking ball. Looks like he wanted to backdoor it. Mm-hmm. Left out on the inner half. Oh, yeah, that's right into the nitro zone there.
Easy to get to, and Stoff knew it. As soon as it left the bat, he knew that Sandoval got that.
Way high to Huff. Huff in the first inning, grounded out to Orlando Hudson at second. Backing out of play. One-two delivery. Grounded to first. Up with it. Guzman takes it himself. 3 unassisted. 1 out. Well, the silver lining right now is that Pablo Sandoval has hit 2 solo home runs in this game. Because the top 2 hitters in front of him so far today are a combined 0 for 4. I don't think anybody's ever doubted the ability of Sandoval. There were some that questioned his conditioning, to quite put it frankly. Especially last year. Worked hard last offseason to return to the form that he had a couple years ago as a rookie.
I think especially with a young player like Sandoval.
Fouled back this way.
Giants wanted it to be known he was going to have to be in a little bit better shape if he expected to be an everyday player at third base. And you give him credit. He worked hard during the winter and got himself in a little bit better shape. And I'm always partial to those guys who look bigger in a uniform because I got the same thing. And bottom line is you need to be productive. And the Giants felt like if he lost about 20, 25 pounds, it would be easier for him to do that. And I think that's paid off for him. He worked really hard during the winter and got himself in better shape and been very productive. Played third base pretty much on an everyday basis.
Another foul. But the crazy thing for the Giants is that for a team that needed offense from any source they could get, he was pretty much a non-factor in the playoffs last year. He had a decent NLCS against the Phillies, but he was 0 for 3 in the World Series.
Yep. Coach did a lot of shuffling with that lineup last year in the postseason. Some guys making some.
Line left center field. Blanks. Can't reach it. A couple of hops to the fence, and Cody Ross, who was a big contributor last postseason for the Giants, stands at second with a one-out double.
Earlier in the game, we saw Jason Bartlett hit a ball to left field that had some hook on it. This one had some slices, a breaking ball, and Ross puts a nice swing on it, but it was cutting away from Kyle Blanks. He just never could get to it. He took the right angle after it, but the ball was slicing away from him. You don't see that very often on a ball hit to left field.
Tim's gotten hurt on a couple breaking balls. The home run to Sandoval and that breaking ball to Cody Ross.
Brandon Belt snuck one through the right side his first time up. Just back on the minors not long ago. He had a 16 pitch at bat his first time up yesterday against Arizona. It did wind up in a strikeout. I saw 16 pitches. He fouls that back to the screen. The young player the Giants are certainly very high on. But as you mentioned earlier, Tony, right now he's a first baseman playing left field today.
Boat's trying to get offense wherever he can get it. Wade Belt has to play the outfield.
Strike call, 2-2.
It's a good pitch right there by Stauffer.
Brandon Belt out of Nacogdoches, Texas. Played at the University of Texas. It's jammed to third. Gonzalez looks the runner back and on to first to get Brandon Belt 2 outs.
You talk about getting in the guy's kitchen. Trying to fight that one off. My goodness.
Yeah. Little two-seamer in. Crawford does this time. Last time up, he swung at first pitch into a double play. They had first and third and nobody out.
Takes the first pitch strike this time on a changeup. No RBI for Crawford that first time up, though on the 6-4-3 double play, Cody Ross came in to score. Strike call, 1-2. Shortstop Brandon Crawford playing in his 51st game of the year for the Giants. Down in the dirt. Hundley kept it to his left and towards third base, which is where Ross would have been headed had he taken off, but Ross remains at second. Nick's gotten better behind the plate.
He works hard. I mean, it's not only does he stick with the game plan, he knows the game plan, sitting in with the pitchers every start, going over the hitters, what they're going to do.
Off the mitt and a full count.
That's the thing I like about the job he's done since he's come back, is that really trying to take charge of that pitching staff, trying to, you can see a lot of times on that last road trip running out there to talk to the pitcher, keep him focused on the job at hand. He's really done a nice job.
Fouled away left side. Count holds with 3-2. Randy Crawford, a Californian. Lives in Pleasanton. Went to Foothill High School in Pleasanton, California. Went to UCLA. Hits it through the right side. Ross around third. Gnorfiak fumbles it. Throw comes back behind the runner at first. He's in safely. Ross scores the second run of the inning, and it's 4-1. I don't know how legitimate of a shot Gnorfiak was going to have at the plate anyway, but the fumble erased any hopes of that.
Yeah, I don't think he would have had a shot at him. Once he bobbled the ball, he did pick it up and throw it to first, and they had a shot at Crawford at first base, and I'm not sure if he's able to get back in there in time. See Guzman's in front of the bag, and it looked like he did get in there just in time.
First pitch strike to Chris Stewart. Stewart grounded back to the mound his first time up. Stewart was called up to the Padres just about a year ago. Saw action in only 2 games. Did not have an at-bat as a Padre last year, as he spent most of last season with the AAA team, which then was in Portland. But throughout 39% of would-be base dealers as the Padres' AAA catcher last year. Stewart lays off the one high, and it's a 2-2 count.
Tim needs a wipeout pitch here. Located fastball or that breaking ball, swing over the top of it, get out of this inning. Had 2 strikes on Crawford and now 2 strikes on Chris Stewart.
Back up the middle, and it's a diving stop by Bartlett. And a base hit for Chris Stewart. And we get a hit from the catcher Stewart to keep the inning alive. Our comparison today brought to you by the San Diego Toyota dealers. We've got what it takes. Buster Posey, and he was just starting to get hot when he got hurt, but was hitting 286 this year. The other catchers for the Giants sitting right around 200 for the season.
Hey, there's no doubt he's a special player. He was a special force last year. And getting called up, what was it, in May?
Yep.
And then putting up the numbers and what he did to handle a big league staff.
Big league staff.
Yeah. And those are tough shoes to fill, especially as a catcher.
Yeah, Posey was called up on May 29th of last year. Still won the Rookie of the Year in the National League. Beating out Jason Hayward. Bouncy ball, the flip, and Hudson stays on the bag. Bartlett would save the run right there on a play up the middle to rob the pitcher Bumgarner. They force Stewart to win the frame, but the Giants do get a couple, and at the midpoint of the 4th, it's 4-1. Mark Grant was traded from the Giants to the Padres as part of a deal that included what future NL MVP? And the answer, Kevin Mitchell, one of the 1989 National League Most Valuable Player. He had 2 home runs in his Giants debut, July 5th of '87, against the Cubs at Wrigley Field.
No name on the back. Didn't have time to put Mitchell on the back of the uniform. The Padres were in Montreal at the time of that trade. Giants in Chicago, and it's kind of ironic. Kevin Mitchell hit 2 home runs in his debut. Huh. I gave up 2 home runs in my Padre debut to Andre Dawson. How do you like them apples?
Full circle, it all comes around.
Yeah.
He's strong, Kevin Mitchell.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Strong.
How about that stroke he had, man?
For a strong guy like Kevin, short stroke, he
Yep.
had a short stroke.
I was at that game at St. Louis, I think it was 90, when he made the barehand catch down the left field line. Ozzie Smith hit the foul fly that he caught in foul territory with his bare hand. After he overran it, really.
Yeah.
Only leading off the San Diego fourth, up and away from Madison Bumgarner.
Because after the Giants left Chicago, the Padres came into town and played the Cubs. Mark Davis, Chris Brown, and Keith Comstock flew to Montreal, and I stayed in Chicago because I was going to pitch. It was the first day back that the
fouled on the left field side.
That the Padres played against the Cubs after the Giants left.
You know, people may forget prior to all that, when Kevin Mitchell was with the Mets, you know, he had one of the big hits in Game 6 that kept them alive.
Right.
I'm sure Glenn Hoffman remembers that because he was on the other side with the Red Sox. But most people remember Gary Carter and Ray Knight scoring the game winner, but Kevin Mitchell was involved in that. The strikeout of Nick for the first out of the fourth, and 6 punch-outs now for Bumgarner.
Like any left-hander who faces a right-handed lineup, when you get that breaking ball in that slot, down and in when you're ahead, you're going to have a good day.
That's where a lot of managers feel like having a left-hand hitter in there to throw that left-handed pitcher off, get him off, and being able to locate that slider you're talking about down and in the right-handers.
Outside to Denorfia.
A lot of managers like to just throw a lefty in there just to break him up, get him to think about something else, think about a different angle.
One ball, one strike.
Hey, there we go. That never gets old, huh?
Belted to center field, but Torres retreating. It's over his head. That just misses getting out by a couple of feet. And Denorfia has his second double of the game. He hammered that one to dead center field.
He hit it hard. Torres didn't even have a chance to get turned around. That ball was scalded to center field. That ball up in the zone. Nice swing. Torres doesn't have a chance to get back there. All he could do is play it off the wall. Denorfia, another double.
Maybe about a foot and a half from going out?
Not much. Denorfia is at second, one out, and Gonzalez fouls it straight back. Let's take a closer look. No more than a couple of feet.
Yeah.
To center field, Torres started in, stop, comes in further, and makes the catch. 2 away. Talking about Kevin Mitchell, who was involved in the trade involving Mark Grant. But this was the '86 World Series Game 6. It was Carter, but then Mitchell, Ray Knight, and then Mookie up the line. And I always thought Bill Buckner got a raw deal because the game was already tied at that point.
Yeah.
Dave Stapleton should have been in there, right?
Well, that's another point to that. Now,
and there was a time in that game when they could have pinch hit for Buckner with Don Baylor, and they didn't. I mean, there's a lot of scenarios going on in that ballgame that a lot of people still talk about to this day.
Stauffer fouls it back.
Another thing is that's Game 6. It wasn't Game 7.
Right.
Yeah, they had the lead in Game 7. The Red Sox
and
did.
they did. They had the lead in Game 7 too. So,
You know, there's a guy who doesn't get enough credit for his big league career, Bill Buckner.
absolutely.
Check out his numbers.
Probably a lot better than you think.
He had a darn good career.
Crawford fouls it back.
You know, it's almost comical when you look at that inning. It was bang, bang, 1 out, 2 outs. Bang, bang, bang.
It had even flashed for a second on the scoreboard at Shade. Congratulations, world
That's
champion
yeah.
Boston Red
Yep.
Sox.
And then the floodgates open. Base knock, base knock.
Ground ball to short. And Crawford throws him out to win the inning. By the way, for Buckner, 2,715 big league hits. It's a nice career. After 4-1 San Francisco.
Mid-game recap from San Diego, brought to you by Murray Lampert Construction. Find the truth in home remodeling with Murray Lampert. See why that they're the company to trust. Get online and visit murraylampert.com. Marco.
Thanks, Mud. Great to have you along. Mark Neely, Mark Grant, Tony Gwynn from Petco Park on this Labor Day Monday. Into the 5th inning, the Giants 4 runs, 7 hits. The Padres a run, 5 hits. San Francisco, the top of the order is up. And center fielder Andres Torres. First pitch swinging, right side, up with it. Guzman takes it himself. 1 pitch, 1 out. Second time today, Torres has gone 3 unassisted, and he's 0 for 3. Second baseman Jeff Keppinger has grounded out twice. Once to the third baseman Gonzalez, and the last time for Orlando Hudson at second.
Oh,
so pretty in pink.
Yeah. Molly Ringwald.
Is that movie filmed in Chicago? Was that out?
That was at John Hughes, wasn't it?
Yeah, he filmed a lot of them in Chicago area, didn't he?
Breakfast Club.
Home Alone.
16 Candles.
1-1 pitch to Keppinger. Upstairs. Keppinger acquired from the Astros July 19th. He missed the first 50 games of the season with the Astros due to off-season surgery on his left foot.
There's that inside slider, Tony.
Good pitch.
Yes, it is.
Keppinger has been the toughest hitter in the National League to strike out this year. With a 2-2 count. And he puts the ball in play softly to second. Hudson throws him out. 2 down. Going to bring up Sandoval, who's gone deep twice today. Our cold hard blast presented by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. In the first, he goes over the beach in right center field. And then leading off the fourth to right. Homers 17 and 18 on the year for Sandoval. For the 26th time, as you saw, that a player's had a 2-homer game here in a ballpark that's been around since 2004. To left field, and it'll stay in the yard for Kyle Blanks. Stoff sets him down in order in the 5th. The top of the order comes up for the Padres in the bottom half.
Harris Rincon Casino. If a grand slam is hit this inning, it's up to $60,000, folks. So get online and enter at 4sd.com for your chance to win. $60,000 can be coming your way. Got to load them up, Mark Neely and Tony Gwynn.
Nice to give away $60K right here. Maybe to lead off. Hit the knees for strike one. Cam singled in the 3rd and also stole a base. Something must be compelling for her not to be paying attention. Foul past 3rd. That's the gym over there at the Diamond View Tower. Fit.
Something you won't see me doing. 2 things: reading and riding a bike.
Kids, don't be Mark Grant. Check swing and a ball down and in. They asked for the appeal. Ooh, he went around, says Chris Guccione. Maybe out on strikes.
Let's take a look. What do you think?
No.
Kind of tough, huh?
No, he did not.
After that last look, what do you think, Tony?
No, he didn't. He didn't go.
7 strikeouts for Bumgarner.
It's that nonchalantness that they use when they call you out. It just drives me. And you have to.
Sure.
I get their point. You got to be confident when you make those calls and not show any.
Chris Guccione, the first base umpire.
No, he's just waiting for somebody to say something.
Hey, and I'm not going to pick on Chris Guccione here, but doesn't it go both ways? Because umpires don't want players to show them
Absolutely.
up.
That's right.
Umpires can show up players.
Yeah, absolutely. It happens all the time. But they don't have to. They have to answer to the big guys.
Look at, he's still looking in the dugout.
He's looking, because there's some chirping going on in that dugout. I guarantee you. And again, your job is to watch the field. Get your head out of the dugout. Get your head out of the dugout and do your job. Don't worry, you've made the call, and they are entitled to complain a little bit as long as you don't go overboard. Good. Keep focus out there on the field.
A 1-2 pitch to Jason Bartlett. Bumgarner racking up the Ks now. He's up to 8.
Because this is the only chance I'm going to get to say what I just said. Because when I'm in the dugout, I can't say anything either.
There's that slider we're talking about.
Down and in. He's got it working.
Well, he is a strikeout guy, Bumgarner. Struck out 8.2 batters per 9 innings this year. 13th best in the National League.
Well, the season high is 11 strikeouts, most recently in his last start. Against the Cubs on September 1st, he went 8 scoreless, allowed only 2 hits, and fanned 11. And that ground ball is right at the shortstop, Brandon Crawford. Padres go down in order. That's 5 in a row. And 7 of the last 8 retired by Bumgarner. After 5 from Petco, it's 4-1. Concert after the Padres play the Diamondbacks at 5:35. The concert is free for all fans who attend the September 17th game. So don't wait. Get your tickets today at Padres.com/concerts. 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Giants in the 6th. First baseman Aubrey Huff is grounded to second and grounded to first. Hold foul up into the seats. One pitch. Strike call on the high part of the zone.
Aubrey Huff not happy with that call.
84th pitch coming from Tim Stauffer. Off the outside corner. Aubrey Huff finished 7th in the National League MVP voting last year. Led the Giants in nearly every offensive category.
And that year just kind of came out of the blue.
It did, didn't it?
He was really solid for the Giants last year.
Hit 290, 26 homers. Drove in 86 in 157 games. Aubrey Huff's another Texan. Raised in Mineral Wells, Texas. (3-2) down the left field side and going foul. You know, for years, Aubrey Huff played what at that point was really baseball Siberia, Tampa Bay, and now things have certainly changed.
Yeah.
But Huff, it's been his first 6 seasons with the Rays. In fact, had a career high 34 homers for Tampa Bay in 2003. Pulled foul. Rays eventually traded him to Houston in a deal that brought in Ben Zobrist, who's been a very good player for them. That was in July 2006. And he works the walk. There's the first base on balls allowed by Stauffer today. And they're going to run for Huff. So maybe that wrist is more of an issue than we thought.
Yeah, that looks like one of those injuries where, you know, and I'm not speculating that it's the wrist or anything, but if it is, it's one of those situations where later on it really starts to maybe bother you a little bit. We're going to have to wait and see what the situation is there as Darren Ford goes into pinch run.
Cody Ross is 2 for 2 today and has scored twice. A single and a double.
Well, it also could be just Boch playing for another run here. I mean, they only Baumgartner got to feel pretty good that he's gotten 4 runs on the board. Boch not taking any chances, wanting to try to increase that lead from 3 to another number.
Diamondbacks, though, are leading big right now in Colorado in the 8th inning. So I'm sure more than 1 or 2 Giants have checked out the auxiliary scoreboard out there in right field to notice Arizona's playing well today.
I've been watching that scoreboard since 12:30.
Swing and a miss. Arizona's up 9-2 in the top of the 8th. A couple weeks ago, Arizona couldn't win. Now they can't lose.
Arizona's pitching's been much better than I thought it would be, but offensively, they went from a team early in the year who could not put runs on the board to one that's gotten pretty consistent in doing exactly that, putting runs on the board. And it's coming off a series where they played the Giants in San Francisco and took 2 out of 3. They're feeling pretty confident right now about winning this division.
You know, I've always contended that with the Arizona Diamondbacks and the talent they have, and that ballpark.
Ford on the run, pitch inside, great throw by Hundley, and gets him. The pinch runner forward, thrown out by Nick for the first out of the inning.
Nick Hundley, excellent job right there. Catch, perfect throw.
Not the greatest jump.
Nope.
But a great job by Nick. Right from the air, snap throw. You cannot place a ball down to second base any more perfectly. Nice job, Nick Hundley.
Ross pops it up on the infield. Who wants it? Hudson calling for it and makes the catch. They get Ross for the first time. Well, runs have been hard to come by for the Giants. Our leaderboard is brought to you by Los Primos, home of the Monster Burrito. Get your $5 meal deal for a limited time only. Fewest runs since the All-Star break. Giants at 137. Next to last is the Astros, and they're at 174. That's a huge gap between those two teams right there. It shows you how rough it's been for the Giants scoring.
Man.
When the Giants score 4 runs or more this year, they're 45-9. They scored 4 today, lead it by 3 here in the 6th.
So you just wouldn't think coming into a year that scoring 4 runs in a game is that difficult to do. In a 162-game season, well, we're going to score 4 runs at least half of those 162 games, you would think. 45 and 9.
Wow.
54 games they've scored 4 runs or more.
I think Boach was just telling Darren Ford on the bench, say he was pointing out to the outfield, you're going out there to the left.
You know, I'm going to have to do my best job of motivating these guys down the stretch.
Yeah. He can do that. Tim Flannery can do that.
Yep.
1-2 to Belt. Got him looking. Stauffer with the strikeout of Belt to end the frame. Bottom half coming up with the cleanup hitter Blanks leading off. When the Padres play the Diamondbacks at 7:05. Get here early. First pour is at 4:30. You can drink great beer from 25 local breweries. Admission is free with the purchase of a game ticket. Visit Padres.com/Oktoberfest for details. Blanks leading off the Padres 6th. And takes a strike. A few changes for the Giants. Darren Ford stays in the game. He takes over in center field. Torres, who was in center, has moved to left, and Brandon Belt, who was in left, has moved to first base with Huff out of the game. Blake sits it and a couple of hops to third, and Sandoval fires. 1 out.
You know, Sandoval has proven if he can get to it, he can glove and throw it. And you look at him and say, oh, yeah, right. He's not very athletic. He's pretty athletic down there at third base.
Yeah.
He's made some great plays.
Two homers today for Sandoval. No player has ever hit 3 in a game here at Petco. Hudson has bounced to the mound and fly to right. Padres and Giants opening up this 3-game series. A rocket towards left center field. Darren Ford just into the game. Races over and catches that one about letter high. Usually doesn't take long for the baseball to find somebody newly inserted into the game.
Not long at all. The ball was hit right on the button before they would close the distance to make the play.
There are a lot of stolen bases in the minor league career of Darren Ford.
a New Jersey native.
288 going into this year. He signed in 2005.
Hundley breaks his bat. Slow roller to short. Charged by Crawford. It's a quick inning for Madison Bumgarner, who's at 81 pitches through 6. It's 4-1 Giants. Southern California's premier dental implant center by MTS. MTS moves me. And by Cadillac. Visit your San Diego County Cadillac dealer for an attractive lease or purchase offer. Hope your Labor Day weekend going well. Mark Neely, Mark Grant, Tony Gwynn from Petco Park. And it's the Padres' debut for Drew Carpenter.
Well, when you look at those numbers, a small sample in 2011, the high ERA, the opponent's batting average, and you know one of the things that Bud Black does so well, putting guys in situations to where they maybe have a chance to maybe go out there in not a pressure situation. We go into the 7th inning here. The Padres trail by 3. It's a chance for Drew Carpenter to pitch against the Giants lineup. See what he's got. He's got the bottom of the order due up, 7, 8, 9.
Carpenter's longest outing of the year came on July 25th when he was with the Phillies pitching against the Padres. He went 2 innings. Named on waivers on Friday, last Friday the 2nd. He joined the club the following day on Saturday. He makes his Padres debut here. San Diego down 3 into the 7th. Shortstop Brandon Crawford leading off. He singled to right, driving in a run in the 4th. Gonzalez plays in on the grass at third. The first pitch down low. No Carlos Beltran today for the Giants, who is suffering through a bout of food poisoning. Ground ball to the right side, and Orlando Hudson. One out. I don't know if you've experienced food poisoning, guys, but that can be a 24-hour thing, or it could be a 4 or 5 day thing. Depends how.
Fun.
Yeah, and not fun for sure.
I'm not sure Carlos Beltran coming over here to the Giants, knowing how badly they need offense, wants to be in there, but probably food poisoning. Oof.
Beltran, who was acquired July 28th from minor league pitcher Zach Wheeler, right-handed pitcher who was the Giants' first-round pick back in 2009. Down low to Chris Stewart. Interesting that Beltran was actually selected to the National League All-Star team this year while he was with the Mets by Bruce Bochy. Gonzalez playing in. Goes out Stewart, 2 away. Coming up, the San Diego Hyundai dealers' 7th inning stretch. Get more MPG, more value, and double the warranty. Shop online at SanDiegoHyundaiDealers.com.
Question for you guys. You think that teams should be able to trade their draft picks?
I do.
I do too.
Before the actual draft.
Before the draft, yeah.
Absolutely. Why not?
I do too.
Sure.
Every other major sport is that way, isn't it?
I agree.
Bumgarner, low 80s in his pitch count. Takes low ball and a strike. 81 pitches for Bumgarner. 55 of those have been strikes.
Well, one thing I've already noticed about Carpenter, he really concentrates, kind of keep the ball down.
Yep.
He's not overpowering by any means, but fastball, slider, down in the zone. Hence 2 grounders here in the 7th.
You can consistently keep it there. You're not going to get hurt very often.
Appealed. Vespuccioni says he went around. Even up the score there, so to speak.
Too late.
Time to stretch at Petco. Tire, where America saves on tires. Nationals win today, beating the Dodgers, who've been red hot. Nationals win at 7-2. Hiroki Kuroda, 3 homers he gave up in the first inning of that game. Mike Morse hit a couple for Washington, and the D-backs lead top of the ninth, 9-3 over the Rockies. Rookie Paul Goldschmidt has a double and 3 runs batted in, and Jeff Blum has a homer and 3 RBIs. D-backs, if they win that game, would be 81-60. Trying to maintain a 7-game lead over these Giants. They have a 4-1 lead into the bottom of the 7th here at Petco. Bottom 3 in the order. Denorfia leading off, though, has belted a couple of doubles today. One's to left and one's off the top of the fence in center. And another hard hit ball, but he's robbed by Crawford, who spins and throws him out. Dino just off the DL today. We'll be looking at a 3-for-3 day, and he hit another one right on the screws there.
That was a rocket.
Right on the butt.
Oh,
Ball's on Crawford in a hurry.
yes, it was.
Dino making his presence felt again, though. Alberto Gonzalez takes a strike. He's fly to right and fly to center.
Well, you know, the temperature's kind of dropped here at Petco Park.
Apparently a few raindrops around.
Boy, he really slows up his arm action, doesn't he? Back-to-back breaking ball. That was a breaking ball prior to that changeup, but both times. And hitters can pick up on that. We talked about that earlier.
Back to the fastball that is low. Time for the reindeer, huh?
Yeah.
Slider at its 3-2. Few folks making sure they're undercover. Fouled off his foot.
Got the umbrella at the baseball game. It's pretty good.
Usually the umbrellas are here to keep the
sun,
UV off you. Yeah.
Keep the sun off of you. Fans bringing that umbrella. Rain gear.
Guy on the left looks like he should be on a blind somewhere waiting for the Ducks.
Well, Albert Hammond had it wrong. It does rain in Southern California. Because he said it seems it never rains in Southern California. He's got it wrong.
9 strikeouts for Bumgarner, but he also says in that song, "Man, it pours." And Bumgarner's been pouring it on the Padres with 9 punch-outs. Aaron Cunningham, the pinch hitter. So 1 inning for Carpenter in his Padres debut. And had a clean inning, set him down in order.
Yeah, nice job by Drew. You know, as a pitcher, you join a new ball club and you go out there. I don't care if it's 1, 2, 3 in the order, you know, 4, 5, 6. You know, his case was 7, 8, 9. I don't care. You go out there and you throw up a scoreless inning, you get a good feeling. Good for him.
Blackman to give him a chance to get some confidence.
Yeah.
You give them 1 inning, shutout ball, that's what you do. Start to build their confidence.
Cunningham 4 for 18 as a pinch hitter this year. He does have a pinch hit home run. Down low. Just over 25,000 paid on this Labor Day Monday here at Petco Park. 25,066. Okay, crowd. Tipped into the mitt of Chris Stewart. And at double digits now. Strikeouts for Bumgarner, who's fan 10 through 7. To the game for the Sequan Casino postgame show from the Channel 4 studio this afternoon with John Weisbarth and Bob Scanlon. Sequan Casino, get away for the day at Sequan Casino. Third Padres pitcher of the game, Jeff Fulcino.
We saw Jeff toe the slab against the Colorado Rockies the other day, Friday. Third of an inning, gave up a hit, walked one, and struck out one Rocky. So trying to iron things out here in this outing against the Giants at the top of the order.
What is different about Fulcino, though, from when we saw him the other night?
Beardless.
He shaved it off.
Yeah. Going with the prospect look.
Leading off the 8th, top of the order, Andres Torres. Gonzalez in on the grass at third. Fastball at 92 is inside. Fulcino claimed all waivers from Houston. There's a strike. Torres today 0 for 3. And has the count in his favor now at 3 balls and a strike. Grounded out to first twice and also popped out to the shortstop Jason Bartlett. Five-pitch walk to Torres begins the 8th inning. Let's look at the Doppler. They actually have a little precipitation, huh?
Yeah.
There you go. Thanks, Bruno. Bruno sharing with his smartphone.
That Doppler report. You can see all the cell that is moving in. Doppler report brought to you by Farmer John Sausages. Look at those sausages holding that iPhone. My goodness.
Told you Barbie wanted those sunglasses back. Comes the pitch to Jeff Keppinger. Runner takes off. Throw down to second and Huntley. Nope, not this time. Well, Nick had another one there. Gunned down Darren Ford earlier. Torres swipes his team-leading 17th bag of the season.
You know, we'll have to see the leg kick. Fulcino, kind of an abbreviated slide step. Looks like Nick Huntley does everything right. It's on line, just the speed of Torres.
Yep.
Outside part of the bag there. And Jason, a key here, and we talk about this all the time. Keep the tag on the runner. Keep it on him, keep it on him, keep it on him. Because how many times head first they slide past the bag or on the transfer from hand to foot come off the bag.
Keppinger lines at center field. Maben sees it drop in. Torres had to hold up, but he does advance to third. And runners are at the corners with nobody out. And it's going to bring up Sandoval.
Breaking ball. Too much on the plate.
Right off the end of the bat. And Torres holding. Recognized that ball was going to drop. Knows he's only going to pick up 90 feet. Nice hit by Keppinger. He gave Torres the chance to steal second. Now he singles him over to third.
Sandoval homered over the beach in right center in the first. Over to right in the fourth. He flied to medium left field in the fifth. He's 2 for 3. Huntley wanted the ball away, had to reach across, but called ball 1.
Looked like a pretty good pitch, but like you said, being set up the way he was, had to reach across and didn't get the call.
And back to the screen. The trailing runner advances, but the lead runner, Torres, does not. Torres gave it a long look, and I think he's angry at himself that he didn't go.
Yeah. He wasn't quite sure where that ball ricocheted to. Just past Hundley pretty cleanly, and you'd think from the sound that it made it would bounce back to him, but it didn't. It shot towards the Padre dugout. Torres unable to find the ball, does the right thing, and decides to stay put.
Well, that gets up to left-hander Spence, and with first base open, the Padres will just put Sandoval on. Darren Ford, who came in as a pinch runner for Huff in the 6th and stayed in the game and went into center, is going to bat for the first time today, and he'll do it with the bases loaded and nobody out. Darren Balsley and the infielders will converge on the mound.
Well, as you mentioned, Mark Neely went in last in the 6th, actually. Pinch run, so first at bat, a little scouting report for everybody.
And the Padres get Brad Brock, the right-hander, up joining Spence in the San Diego bullpen. First inning of work for Fulchino. He's in a jam here in the 8th. Bases loaded, nobody out. Padres bring the infield in. Strike one on the low inside edge to Ford. See limited playing time for Ford. Down low. Ford had been a switch hitter, but abandoned that to bat only right-handed as of last year. One and two as Fulchino gets ahead with his fastball.
That's a great pitch.
Yeah. The spot on the outside corner.
Two coming to Darren Ford. He fights it off and fouls it back.
And attack Ford there on the inner half of the plate. Ford fouled it off.
Hudson comes home for one. That'll be the only play. If we get the lead runner, forced at the plate. One out.
Working down to the zone, looked like a breaking ball. Ford beat it right into the ground, and Orlando Hudson playing catch with his catcher there. Yeah, third of the way home.
Here's Cody Ross, the right fielder. He is 2 for 3 today with a couple of runs scored. One of his hits is a double. Jumps on the first pitch, lines it deep left towards the corner, off the very top of the fence. Keppinger in, Sandoval comes home. It's a 2-run double. Ross missed a grand slam by just a foot or two, but it is 6-1 San Francisco. Third hit of the game for Cody Ross.
Huntley wanted that ball on the outer half. Gets it on the inner half. Cody Ross thinks that he's just hit a grand slam and a few feet short.
Well, Black comes out, and that'll be all for Fulcino. Goes a third of an inning. A little harder rain coming down as Fulcino exits the mound. This pitching change is brought to you by the Law Tigers, San Diego's motorcycle injury lawyers who ride. Josh Spence will come in for the Padres.
Well, left-hander Josh Spence toes the slab here, trying to stop the bleeding. A big hit for Cody Ross. So you got a couple of lefties coming up with one out. Brandon Belt, Brandon Crawford. So bring out the magician, Josh Spence. Is that Dave Doherty out in center field? Looks like one of those old-time photographers back in the day when they had the, you know.
All of a sudden, we're going to see the.
Yeah.
The runners at second and third, one out. Infield in for the Padres. And left-hander hitting Brandon Belt. 1 for 3 today. Belt's base hit was a single through the right side back in the second inning. Six runs, 9 hits for the Giants. The Padres 1 run, 5 hits. Well, went around on a pitch that started out at his elbow.
Now, you know what and Tony, you could elaborate on this. Okay, 2-0 count, right? You got some ducks on the pond square. I think he had it in his mind, I'm going to swing no matter what.
Yep. Looking for something inside and
tried to hold up, and he committed, got past
stop.
the point of no return and couldn't stop.
Exactly right.
Three balls and a strike on Brandon Belt. Lefty Crawford drew up next. Upstairs, ball 4, and that reloads the bases. Third walk of the inning. First from Spence. So they're going to bat for Crawford. Mark DeRosa is going to come off the bench and hit for Crawford. So they get the right-handed bat of DeRosa. And with that announcement, the Padres will make a change and get right-hander Brad Brock. So another Padres pitching change. We'll step aside and come back after this.
Force at any base, need a grounder here or a strikeout. So the young kid pitching against a veteran player like Mark DeRosa, who's pinch hitting.
36-year-old Mark DeRosa batting for Brandon Crawford. First pitch is a strike from Brock. .232 average for DeRosa, but he has reached base safely in 9 of his last 18 plate appearances. Picked up by Hundley, and it's 1-1. DeRosa's 2 for 12 as a pinch hitter this year.
You can induce a ground ball here and get a double play and get out of the inning.
Darts outside. Rock slider, 2 balls and a strike. DeRosa's had a couple of stints on the disabled list this year, both related though to the same injury to his left wrist. Limited to only 26 games last year, which was his first season with the Giants, also due to that left wrist. No place to put DeRosa, and it's a 3-1 count. It goes full. Back to his fastball.
As a hitter, you think a fastball away here?
Yeah. Don't need to throw that slider for a strike.
That ball leaked in, huh? Middle
it away.
Yep. 95 on the heater from Brock.
Bases loaded, one out. Another 3-2 to Mark DeRosa, the pinch hitter. It's inside, and a walk makes it a 7-1 game. Going to bring in Ford with the third run of the inning. So now they're loaded for Chris Stewart. Stewart today 1 for 3, picked up an infield hit in the fourth. Well, we'll see if it's too little too late, but the Rockies are rallying in the bottom of the ninth, but trail Arizona still 10-7 at Coors Field. If there's a place where you can suddenly jump on 6 or 7 runs in the ninth, Coors Field would be that place.
And I guarantee you there's about 30 guys down in that giant dugout saying the exact same thing.
Well, apparently the magic has ended in the bottom of the ninth for the Rockies. It does go final, 10-7 Arizona. To third, and the out at home. Throw to first, safe. Padres can't quite turn the inning-ending double play, or they do get the lead runner Ross at the plate.
You see how Nick Hundley kind of ran into that throw too, so he could get a good throwing lane down to first base.
Like a first baseman on the pickoff. Just keep that foot on the bag on home plate.
Bumgarner up there aggressive with a 6-run lead. Madison Bumgarner came into this game with some of the lowest run support in the league. His offense has been there for him today.
So you can close the book on Fulcino, right?
Third of an inning. 10-7 Arizona over the Rockies today at Coors. So the Giants need a win to stay 7 back. But every day the Giants don't gain ground on Arizona is another day off the calendar. Check swing. No swing, says Chris Cuccione. 2-2. Full count to the pitcher. Got him looking to end the inning, but 9 men come to the plate. And the Giants score 3 times on only 2 hits. The big blow is Ross's 2-run double. 11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Padres.com for details. Veteran Orlando Cabrera takes over at short for San Francisco. (7-1) Giants, bottom of the 8th, and top of the order for the Padres and Cameron Maybin. Strike one on the inner half. Cam today has a single and a stolen base, 1 for 3.
For the last 4 innings for Madison Bumgarner, 41 pitches, averaging just a little bit over 3 pitches per hitter.
And he's retired the last 11 in a row. Bumgarner in his last start, 8 scoreless innings, allowed only 2 hits against the Cubs, struck out 11. He is putting up similar numbers here today.
Yeah, really efficient today. Able to throw that slider for a strike.
Fastball is just off the outside corner, 2-2. That equals a season high, matches a season high for Bumgarner with 11 Ks. He had 11 in his last start against the Cubs. He also had 11 against Cleveland back on June 26th.
But not even a sign of action in that Giant bullpen. They've got the jackets on. They're sitting down in their chairs down there.
Pitch count reasonable.
Strike one to Bartlett. The next pitch will be his 100th. Those pitches Bumgarner has thrown in a start this year is 124. That was back on July 1st in interleague play at Detroit.
Coach is going to have a hard time getting him out of this game, isn't it? 7 runs is a smorgasbord of runs for Bumgarner today.
Up the third base line, foul. Bumgarner does not have a complete game this year. Has not had a complete game yet in his short major league career. Fouled out of play to the right. Bartlett doubled and scored the Padre run in the first. Looks at the short right. Wash coming in. Out belt, and it lands in between them. Little blue base hit for the Padres shortstop, and he's on with 1 out. And that ends the string. 12 in a row retired by Bumgarner.
That's perfect placement. Ross couldn't get to it. Couldn't run it down. Keppinger couldn't get over to it.
That looked like a protective swing right there from Bartlett as well, off the end of the bat. So just to put that in play or to foul it off to get another crack at it. And he finds himself aboard with a safety.
Guzman singled in the Padre run in the first. Strike one from Bumgarner. Bumgarner now at 106 pitches. You remember the night Bumgarner made his major league debut almost exactly 2 years ago. It was September 8th of 2009. We came to the ballpark in San Francisco, not expecting to see Tim Lincecum, but he had back spasms.
That's right.
And Bumgarner made his debut that night against the Padres. He was just 20 years and 38 days old, becoming the 4th youngest Giant to ever make his Major League debut. Strike 3 on the outside corner. That is now a new career high for Bumgarner. 12 strikeouts.
Throws him with the fastball, the outside corner. Once again, 2 strikes. And, he's thrown that pitch before on the plate. You got to be hacking, at least try to foul it off, maybe.
Cleanup hitter Kyle Blinks belts it right at the second baseman. Keppinger reaches up to make the catch to retire the side. A hit and a man left on. This game will move to the 9th. 7-1 Giants. And employ a new hurler, Ernesto Frieri.
5th hurler out of the bullpen for Bud Black after Tim Stauffer went 6 innings. So trying to piece it together, but the wheels kind of came off there in the 8th inning. That double by Cody Ross. So Ernesto Frieri out there. Last time out there for Ernesto was back on Friday against the Colorado Rockies. Pitched in the 9th. Kind of had a rough go around that game.
Back to the top of the order. Torres walked to lead off the 8th inning. Eventually led to the 3 runs they scored. He also stole a base an inning ago, barely getting in ahead of the throw from Hundley. These teams play game 2 of the series tomorrow night. We're on the air at 6:30 with the Honda Dealers pregame show. Eric Surkamp will make just his 2nd Major League start. He's a lefty going for the Giants against Padre lefty Wade LeBlanc. Two-one pitch. Strike call. Matt Cain will throw the final game of the series for the Giants against Aaron Harang Wednesday in the 3:35 start. There he gets the strikeout with his breaking ball. 1 away in the 9th.
Nice job there. Took a lot off that breaking ball.
Second baseman Jeff Keppinger had a single and a run scored an inning ago and is 1 for 4 today. Right back to the breaking ball for Frieri, but that one low. Both teams scored a run in the first. Giants 1 in the second, 2 in the fourth, and 3 in the eighth. With Arizona's 10-7 win over Colorado today, the Giants need a win to stay 7 games back. With 21 to play after this game is over.
Well, I was alluding to the Diamondbacks and the rest of the season for them. Majority of their games at home the rest of the way. I think that's going to play a big. I mean, they're playing good baseball anyway, but that's going to play a big part, I believe.
Yeah, once this series finishes, they have an off day Thursday, and then they have the Dodgers for 3, and then of course the Padres a week from now are in San Francisco for a 3-game series. 5-pitch walk to Keppinger. No player has ever had a 3-homer game at Petco Park since it opened up in 2004, and Sandoval's hit 2 today. Homering his first 2 times up. Since the home runs, he's flied to left in the 5th and was intentionally walked in the 8th after a wild pitch opened up first base and allowed the Padres to put him aboard. He's up there hacking and fouls it back. Fastball from Frieri is outside. A ball and a strike. Sandoval came into this game hitless in his last 10 at bats. Foul down the left field side. Take a big rip, swings and misses, and Sandoval strikes out.
Well, I don't think there's ever been a pitch that Pablo Sandoval doesn't like. I mean, he will swing up at his hat, he'll swing down by his ankles. Obviously, when it's around the plate, he likes to swing. And on that one, he can grab some pine meat.
There at 4, it takes a breaking ball strike.
Not a big Pablo fan, Mark?
No, I'm just along the same school as my good buddy Mike Krukow across the way, color analyst for the Giants. That's one of his lines. Big fan of Kruk and Kite. There's Kruky on the left, Kite on the right.
Rookie's always got that baseball
Yeah,
going.
that's one of his that's one of his lines after the opposition strikes out.
Hey, on a lighter note, as we look at Rookie Kipe
Oh,
again.
he's got the good yawn going.
Yeah. Want to pass along happy birthday to Chiron Bob Wersdorfer today,
Nice.
down in the truck. He is 29 once again. Happy birthday, CB. Always appreciate your help. 3 Ks in the inning. Ernesto Frieri. Last chance for the Padres coming up. Ford, as Tony Gwynn says.
Nobody beats El Cajon Ford.
You can visit them at Broadway in Maine or ElCajonFord.com. 2 homers today for Pablo Sandoval. The first over the beach, the second one to right. And he has accounted for 2 long balls today, our hits of the game. Madison Bumgarner's last complete game came for the Fresno Grizzlies. He's never had one in the major leagues. He's pitched into the 9th here today. Hudson leading off. Chops it foul left side. Orlando today hit the ball well his last time up and lined out to the center fielder. He was 0 for 3. 7-9-0 for the Giants, 1-6-0 for the Padres. Each team has stranded a half dozen on base today. 2-2. Hudson, Hundley, and Denorfia due up in the Padre ninth. And runs inside, and it's a full count. Rain's messed up the dew.
Oh yeah, no, that's the way he left the house.
I wouldn't doubt that actually.
Got the gel working. There's that slider again.
13 strikeouts for Bumgarner, a career high, 1 out in the 9th.
You know, Madison Bumgarner seems to have the same tilt and break on that breaking ball as if he threw pitch number 20 in this game. That was number 114.
He's really been efficient. You got to kind of tip your cap to him today. He's been able to throw that slider to the right-hand hitters and really haven't done a whole lot with it. But the key has been pitching ahead. He hadn't been pitching behind.
Giants do have right-hander Santiago Casilla getting loose in the bullpen. 115 pitches from Bumgarner. Number 116 is outside. It's 2-0.
Do you think it's going to have to be one of those 1, 2, 3 innings for him to complete this game? If there's a base runner, Boat's going to go to the bullpen?
That's what I was thinking. If he lost that first hitter, he was going to go get him. But now that he's gotten the first out, he might give him an opportunity to get that first complete game.
Bumgarner's high pitch count this year, 124 back on July 1st at Detroit. This is 118. Out of play.
I'm sure you're always cautious. Young pitcher on the mound, pitch count getting up there. You know, you want to give him every opportunity to throw that complete game, but at what cost?
That's where you start thinking down the road, right? Future starts in the month of September.
That's exactly right.
Ripped down the left field side, but hooking foul. Got his souvenir.
That's awesome. Anything better than seeing a kid going home with a souvenir? Especially in the last inning, you're hoping for that foul ball, and then it's coming your way. Good for him. That kid's going home happy.
High drive, center field, Ford at the fence, into the bullpen. Hundley's 6th of the year. It's 7-2. And Madison Bumgarner's chances of completing this game just came to a screeching halt. In the 3rd innings from Bumgarner. And season high for him, and Casilla will come in. A 7-2 game will step aside as the Giants make a change on the hill. plenty of fresh Mexican food and a wonderful evening happy hour 7 days a week. Santiago Casilla will try to finish where Bumgarner started.
Hard throwing right-hander out of that pen for the Giants. Good numbers. Fastball, curve, slider, and a change. A little high in the walks, though. Good numbers, though, all the way around.
Denorfia, who had 3 great swings on Bumgarner today and has a couple of doubles to show for it, leads with 1 out. The first hitter Casilla faces, and it's out of the way of ball 1. One time Denorfia was retired in the 7th. He had a hot shot to short that Brandon Crawford came up with and threw him out. Foul past third. Denorfia missed 28 games while coming off the disabled list today. A strained right hamstring. You see his 94-mile-per-hour fastball is outside. Two. Mentioned Bumgarner had not thrown a complete game in his career. He did go 8 2/3 innings earlier this year at Los Angeles against the Dodgers on May 19th. Two to Dino. Reaching, he swings and strikes out. Padres down to their final out.
Well, Casillas from the Dominican Republic. And Tony, did you ever play wiffle ball down there?
No, Puerto Rico.
I went down there, and you hear the stories about the kids, you know, dreaming to be big league ball players. Santiago Casillas' first glove was thick cardboard, cut 3 holes in it, ring finger, middle finger, index fingers. He received his first real glove in a community giveaway by the late Jose Uribe. How about that? Wow. I remember going down there to the Dominican, seeing the kids going to the ball field early and playing stick ball. And they try playing on those infields down there. That's why those infielders have such good hands. Playing on those parking lots. Finds himself in the big leagues. Good fastball, good slider from Casilla.
And he has the Padres down to their final strike. Fouled back by Alberto. Back to a 7:05 first pitch tomorrow night, 6:30 for the Honda Dealer pregame show. Game 2 of this 3-game series. Giants take the first game of the series. They win it 7-2. So San Francisco remains 7 games behind the Arizona Diamondbacks in the NL West. We'll take a timeout, come back, wrap things up after this.